Health system science is a compilation of various topics and attitudes that really define what we need to do to take care of patients better. All of these topics have traditionally been included in bits and pieces within the medical school curriculum, but no one's ever really been able to define all of these components and how they should be taught for medical students.
Medical education has changed a lot because the venues that we use to educate our students have changed tremendously over the years, and we haven't really adjusted to that very well. So we are looking at systems of care that demand a lot in terms of communication skills, a lot in terms of understanding outside of the biologic or biomedical model. We need to do better as a society and a system in taking care of people, and health system science is one of the keys to that, I think.
The textbook helps by bringing this content in a comprehensive form in a single resource. It covers the topics of health system science: quality, safety, teamwork, evidence-based practice, leadership and change agencies, social determinants of health, health equity, clinical informatics and information technology. It brings all of those topics within one resource that the students can use to learn from. It's going to be appealing not just for medical students but other health profession students, because this content is very generic. Anyone who works in our healthcare systems would need to understand it.
So instead of looking at health system science as quality improvement, or just looking at it as health informatics or health policy or health economics, all of which seem like disparate topics, the textbook kind of links them in a very coherent way, and both in terms of the changes in our systems of practice, and also in the kinds of changes we need to make in education that will bring them into the tent of what we do. And that has not existed in another place.
I think everyone understands the importance of making sure our graduates can work in our healthcare systems, but it's a lot of new content. It's new content for our faculty who don't have a lot of experience in this area. It's a new set of skills. So we have to spend some time preparing our faculty as well as our students.
This book is incredibly helpful as educators begin to think about how to implement health system science into the curriculum. Certainly, as we began this process at our institution, it was overwhelming to think about what are the components that needed to be included within the curriculum and how to lay these out for students. There wasn't a well-defined framework for how students should learn these competencies. And so the book really provides a framework of the topics and how students should go about understanding this in the relationship to clinical care.
If you say health system science to 10 different educators up until this point, you're going to get 10 different answers. And hopefully we'll be able to create a culture where people are looking at that in a clear and coherent way, and that they'll be able to communicate about it. And this textbook is the first place, I think, that's really allowed that to happen.
This isn't a book that is written from an administration standpoint. This is really a book that is written by medical educators, really thinking about the learners within the clinical learning environment and how they can impact both patient and population health care to improve the care of our patients on a daily basis.
And we need to begin to educate a group of medical students who are fluent in the language of medical care as we see it moving forward, and are able to practice as members of a team and communicate as members of a team, and see their professional identity be as a collaborative force and not as a kind of hierarchical force. And I think health system science, to me, is one of the keys to educational keys and experiential keys to making that happen.